But we had in our midst a more rare creature than a humorist who was really funny. We had a lawyer who kept his hands in his own pockets. Oh, but I do like compliments. My, we all do. And I've been complimented many times. But you know, they always embarrass me. I always think they haven't said enough. Well, one compliment I received came to me recently from a little Montana girl. She was in a room in which there was a large photograph of me on the wall, and after gazing at it steadily for a time, she said, "We've got a picture of John the Baptist too." And she said, "Only ours has got more trimmings." I suppose she meant the halo. But ladies and gentlemen, it's nice that you folks have come out to the services this evening. I nearly missed them myself. I came by railroad. It's one of them trains that had to stop and take a rest every few minutes. One of the passengers advised the conductor to take the cow catcher off in the front end and put it on the rear, because at the rate we were going, we're not going to catch any cows. But there's nothing to keep them from climbing aboard from the rear. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you don't mind if I smoke. I believe there's some commandment against smoking during insurrections of this dignified nature, but I'm working to have that removed. Mind you, I have no objections to abstinence, so long as it doesn't harm anybody. Well, I practice it myself on occasion. I make it a rule never to smoke when asleep. Not that I care for moderation myself. I do it as an example for others. I came into the world looking for a light. I could give it up whenever I want to. I've done it 1,000 times. First time I gave it up was when I was a boy, about 6 or 7. Worst damn hour of my life. All my life I've tried diligently to give up my bad habits. All my life people have been trying to change my ways. Nothing needs changing so much as other folks' habits. Well, one of the most recent times I gave up my bad habits was on the advice of my doctor. I'd been confined to my bed for several days with a lumbago, and finally my doctor said to me, he said, "See here," he said, "my remedies don't stand a chance." He said, "Consider what they must fight besides a lumbago." He said, "You smoke extravagantly, you eat all manner of things that don't agree with each other's company, and you drink 2 hot scotches every night, don't you?" Well, I said, "Yes, I do, doctor, but I only drink them as a preventative of toothache." I've never had the toothache. I don't ever intend to have it. Well, he said that was all right, but we couldn't make any progress that way. He said you got to learn to moderate those things. I said, "I can't do it, doctor." And he said, "Why can't you do it?" And I said, "Well, I lack the willpower. I can cut them off entirely, but I cannot moderate them." You know, he said that would answer. So for 2 days and 2 nights, I cut off all those things, and at the end of that time, while the lumbago was discouraged and left me, and I was a well man again. So I gave thanks. and took to these delicacies again. Which seemed to me to be a pretty good system. So, you know, I recommended these remedies to an elderly lady friend of mine. She'd gone down and down to the point where medicines no longer had any helpful effect on her. And I told her I could cure her in 1 week. I said she must give up smoking and drinking and swearing, and by the end of the week, why, she'd be on her feet. She said she couldn't give up smoking and drinking and swearing because she never had done any of those things. So there it was. She had neglected her habits. She was a sinking ship without any freight to throw overboard. One or two little bad habits would have saved her. But she was a moral pauper. There's nothing harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example. People that think they know everything are a terrible irritant to those of us who do. You know, I started off as a riverboat pilot on the Mississippi. And I love the memories of those years on the river. I love that profession far better than any I've followed since, and I took a measureless pride in it. For this reason, riverboat pilot on the Mississippi in those days was the only entirely unfettered and independent human being that walked the earth. When I was a boy, there was but one permanent ambition amongst me and my comrades in our little village on the west bank of the Mississippi. That's to be a steamboatman. Boy after boy managed to get on the river. By and by I ran away too. I said I'd never come back home again till I could come in glory as a pilot. The pilot house was a sumptuous glass temple offering a princely view of the great Mississippi. I always had myself called with a 4 o'clock watch in the mornings, for one can never see too many summer sunrises on the Mississippi. They're enchanting. First you have the eloquence of silence, then you have a haunting sense of isolation, loneliness from the hustle and bustle of the world. And the dawn creeps in stealthily, and the solid walls of black forest soften to gray, and vast stretches of the river open up and reveal themselves. And the water is glass smooth. And then a bird will pipe up. When the lights become a little stronger, you have one of the fairest and softest pictures imaginable. You have the intense green of the mass foliage nearby, and you see it paling shade by shade in front of you, and all that stretch of river is a mirror. And it's beautiful. When the sun's well up and has distributed a pink flush here and a powder gold yonder and a purple haze where it will yield the best effect, you grant you've seen something that's worth remembering. Hoped I was going to follow that river for the rest of my days. Die at the wheel when my mission was ended. But by and by the war came, and commerce on the river ceased, and while my occupation was gone, I had to seek a new livelihood. I joined the Confederacy, served for 2 weeks, quit and went home, and the Confederacy fell. Well, I became a silver miner in Nevada, a gold miner in California, a reporter, a foreign correspondent working at a San Francisco. Well, you know, the first time I